it's Jessica here with another layout for the ThermOWeb design team, and today I am doing something a little bit different with the brand new toner card fronts in the shop. This one's called So Succulent and the other one on the right is called Dazzled, and I like to find different ways to use my toner card fronts because I'm not a huge card maker. So today I'm going to make some mini pages for my 4x4 mini album. So I've just pulled out some distress oxides and one in a distress ink, and I'm just doing some ink blending on it, and then I'm going to cut them down into 4x4 inch size to fit into my little mini album here. So I have both of these. This one I'm just going to go ahead and cut first and then do my ink blending. This one I'm just keeping kind of a monochromatic feel to it with two different shades of green, and the other one I stuck with yellow and blue blended together. It kind of makes a greenish and yellow and blue ombre effect. And I've got two photos here that I'm using today for my 52 weeks 52 favorites album, which is 52 weeks, and it's my favorite photo from each week. So I've grabbed two of them here, kind of in the same theme, kind of gardeny, kind of farmy theme. So I'm grabbing my Color Harmony foils in the shades of green, and I'm going to run these through my fuse laminating system, but do as I say here, not as I do. As you can see, I've inserted my craft and carrier sheet in the open edge, and that's a big no-no. So I need to remind myself to recut my craft and carrier sheet to fit into this machine on the folded edge, because you don't want to insert the open edge into your machine because it can cause some shifting or bunching, and it can also cause jamming in your machine as well. So you want to make sure that you're inserting the folded edge when you run those through your laminator. So I've got my one that came out already. It's the Dazzled one, and it's all foiled and shiny and beautiful looking, and it also helps dry those inks too, which is kind of nice. So I've got some embellishments here. I'm just going to start sorting through those while my sheet is running through. There, it just came out, and I'm just going to embellish this, but I don't want to cover up a whole lot on these because I really want those toner card fronts to shine through for my pages. So I'm just going to add a couple little embellishments around my photo, and I'm going to use my tape runner there to actually adhere down my photos to my little pages. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm also going to grab these photo corners because I really like these small ones and how they make your photo pop. So I'm going to add some of those that have been in my stash for quite some time now. Before I do any of that, I'm just taking a moment to jot down what's on the backs of my photos, which is just the week number and the date, because once I stick these down, I'll forget which weeks and what dates they are. So I wanted to make sure I put that down somewhere. So I've got these. I'm going to go ahead and stick my photo corners on here and adhere them to my actual pages just using my tape runner. This is the Memory XL tape runner that I've used today. It's super easy to reload, and the cartridges are fairly cheap. So I usually buy them in bulk, and they are really, really easy to reload. Like I said, you just kind of press the button on the side and pop a new one in. So super, super easy and quick. And I'm just going to add a few things around these photos. So not a whole lot going to be added on these, but I'm going to grab probably some little alphas here to finish out my title. I wanted it to say Farm Life. So I'm going to grab some small alphas, and I'm just going to finish adhering these other elements using my Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. I know that's going to dry clear, so I don't have to worry if I'm a little bit messy with it. So I'm just alternating between those two adhesives, my Ultra Bond liquid glue and my tape runner to take down all of these elements. I am going to reinforce the chipboard corn that I use with the Ultra Bond glue. It does have adhesive on the back already, but I want to make sure that that stays put where I want it to be over time in my album. So I'm going to make sure I put some extra adhesive on that. Just sorting through some elements. These are from the Blvd EIEIO collection. The other ones are from Simple Stories Homegrown collection. I've got some All in Create little die cuts that I'm going to throw on here as well a little bit later. And I've got some black archival ink here. So at this point, I don't want to add anything else until I get the tabs on the tops of my pages, because then I can embellish on top of those if I need to. So I'm just pulling out my LE Studio dies. I've got a tab stamp here to create the tab outline, and then I've got some numbers and a little stamp that says week here, so I can put my week numbers at the top. And I've got my date stamp that I used by Project Life at the bottom. And then these these little numbers that I'm going to pull out here from a different stamp set are by Echo Park. I think it's called Day in the Life, if I remember right. And I'm just pulling those out because the numbers on my other week stamp set are pretty big, so they wouldn't really fit on my tab. So sometimes I do use them if I'm not stamping my date right at the bottom, but since I'm stamping my date at the bottom, I wanted to make sure I had room for everything. So I just grabbed these smaller ones, and I'm stamping in black archival ink today. That's kind of my go-to whenever I'm stamping with black. So I've got these. I'm going to grab my coordinating die for these little tabs and run these through my Big Shot machine to actually cut them out. And then my little tabs will be done, and I can glue those on the tops of my pages using my Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. I love the fused laminating system for smaller projects like this because it's just nice and compact, and it's very, very light. So you can just pull it onto your desk when you need to use it, and then you can put it away afterwards. So it's really, really nice. And it does actually heat up pretty quickly. So here's those little embellishments from All and Create that I'm pulling in. These are just some fun little die cuts that I recently got from a cherry on top, but I just thought they were so stinking cute. They've got these little eyeballs on them, and I don't even know what they are, to be honest. I know that one's obviously a shovel, but the little veggies that I just put on, I think maybe like an onion and a turnip or a beet or something, but they are so stinking cute, and I just thought they looked adorable on this page, and it allowed me to put some embellishments on here without covering too much of the toner card fronts, which is really what I was looking for. I'm also pulling out some of these little embellishments by Pretty Little Studio so that I can add a couple little scallops here on the sides of my photos and at the bottom of that one here. So super cute, just fun little things to add to my pages. I've got lots of stuff in my stash that I am trying to make sure that I utilize on these little pages. So it's just a fun way to use up some embellishments, and I can try to work on getting this mini album done because this particular album is from 2022. So one of my goals this year is to get this album finished up so that I can put it in my stash. So here I'm just using some small alphas to finish out my title here, which is Farm Life, and then I'm just going to continue embellishing this, and I'll stop back in and show you the finished spreads. So here are my finished spreads for my mini album. I hope you guys enjoyed this process today. As usual, if you guys have any questions for me on anything that I did today or anything that I've used, please list them in the comments below and make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.